Okay, so this is the study and travel abroad session. So if you got to the wrong place, hopefully it'll still be interesting. We're going to get started right now. Um, there's a little bit about what we're going to go through. I'm just going to let you know a little bit about who's in the room. We're going to talk about our flagship program, the Global Citizenship Project, or GCP. We'll talk a little bit about our other programs, Global Experiential Learning and Semester Abroad. We'll have some chances for our current students who've done study abroad to talk about their experiences, and then we'll have some time for questions. So first of all, this is our staff. I'm Bethany Galpo-Conate. I'm the Director of International Programs, and I have been here at Shenandoah for 14 years and counting. Trisha is with me here. She's the Education Abroad Advisor, and she's responsible for advising students on all of their options to study abroad, does a lot of work one-on-one with students to help you kind of map out a plan that works for you. So first of all, as you see behind me here, our big map, if you've been on campus, you've probably had a chance to tour and have heard a little bit about our Global Experiential, our Global Citizenship Project, or GCP for short. It's something we're really proud of about at Shenandoah University. I think we're probably one of the only schools that does something quite like this. GCP is a non-credit program, so it's not a course. It's a short travel experience that we offer every year. And it takes place over spring break. So hopefully everybody has, spring break. They don't have to take the time off. The groups that travel, typically there are 5 groups made up of 10 to 12 people. And those groups are intentionally mixed. So it'll be undergraduate students, graduate students, some staff members, some faculty members, and typically somebody who's an expert in the host country, sometimes a student from there, a staff member who's from there, or has some kind of connection. The idea is really for everyone to be able to get a taste of a different culture and just sort of like an introductory kind of culture 101. We don't expect, in 1 week that you're going to become an expert in your destination, but just for a chance for folks to have that initial experience. The important piece, of course, is that the university pays for this, which is really attractive because we know that for many people, cost is a real barrier to having an international experience. The other unique thing about GCP is that it's a blind essay competition. So every year in September, when students first start, we'll have an opportunity for people to submit their application. And basically it's just an essay, 1-page essay, why I'd really like this chance, why you should choose me. And then we have a committee made up of former travelers that reads those essays, but they don't have any names attached. So they can't, say, oh, I like this person, I don't like that person. They have to just read the essays and choose which ones seem like the strongest essays. And then we put those people together in those groups. So like I said, about 10 to 12 people per group, and mixed up in majors too. So it's a great chance for, a dance student to meet a student in chemistry and a faculty member from PA or whatever, and have some really great opportunities to learn. So that's GCP. It's probably if you take away one thing from this, probably this will be the most important one, GCP. And we have been doing this for 15 years, and we've sent close to 1,000 people now. It would have been this year, of course, has been a little bit off track, but over 900 folks from the university throughout the years to 71 different destinations across the globe. Next up is what we call GEL. We like acronyms here. So Global Experiential Learning. These are short-term faculty-led programs, but these are for credit. So these usually happen, it sort of depends. The travel component usually happens, say, in January, right before we come back to classes, sometimes over spring break, but most typically it'll be in May, like right after commencement and before people get busy with their summers. And usually the travel is about a week to 2 weeks. It depends a lot on what the goal of the learning is. And these programs are very focused on your discipline. For some folks, it might be an elective. It doesn't have to be within your major, but typically it might be more of a focus class where you're going to learn something specific about how they do my thing in another culture, or an opportunity to learn a little bit about how some part of your discipline is done elsewhere. When we price these out, the program fee includes your tuition without an extra charge. So if you're looking at some other schools, these faculty-led programs, you'll pay a program fee for your travel, and then you'll pay like tuition per credit hour to get the credits. We package that all into one thing and don't charge extra for the tuition. Essentially what you're paying is your travel, but you're also getting the credits for essentially for free. So we work really hard to try to make these affordable. We really want everyone to have a chance for them. And of course, it depends on where you're going. It's more expensive to travel to some parts of the world than others, but typically they're about to $2,000 to $4,000 for one of these travel experiences. And then of course you get credit for it as well. Here's a couple of some samples of previous topics that we've done throughout the years. Every year it changes a bit because there are different opportunities that come up, different faculty leaders that are really interested in leading a trip. In some cases, it's an annual trip. For example, one of our students will talk a little bit about her experience in London. We typically send musical theater students to London every year because obviously that's a place where you can learn a lot about that discipline. But here are a couple examples: psychology department, sports management. We actually had a group of students go to the Olympic Games, the Winter Games, and volunteer, which was a wonderful experience. Comparative education, global policy. I'm quite sure that in the future, this going to the World Health Assembly is going to be a really interesting opportunity to learn about public health from like the thought leaders in the world. And then sometimes they're very much like you see here within the Saxophone Congress, it's very much like people within a performance discipline or perhaps an academic discipline to be able to go to a conference and to get credit for that and to have that learning opportunity. And then we have sort of your traditional semester abroad. The way we do it here at Shenandoah is that it's all on exchange. So we have, first of all, we utilize the ICEP network, and that is a network made up of hundreds of different partner universities all around the world that have agreed to exchange students. So essentially, we can send any of our students to one of the partner schools, and we can get students from any of those partner schools, and they just sort of switch places. We also have some direct exchanges. One of them is in Audencia, which is in France, and Julia will tell us a little bit about her experience there as a summer school student. We have a great partnership with the University of Winchester in the UK. That's our sister city, and so it's made a lot of sense to be sister schools as well. Great small town in the United Kingdom where students really have a great chance to have an experience. We also have a conservatory that we're allied with in the UK called Trinity Laban. And typically the courses, whether they're in the UK or France or Finland or elsewhere, are taught in English. So I know for a lot of folks, they're thinking, well, I can't study abroad. I'm not a language major. I don't speak another language, but that doesn't have to stop you. Many universities around the world teach in English because they want to be able to welcome students from all over the world. So we work closely with you to help map out a plan of study so that you're not going to be delayed for graduation. So we're trying to help you make sure that whatever courses you take on your semester abroad will count for something back here, whether it's electives or gen ed or your major requirements, so that you're still on track. In terms of the cost structure, because it's an exchange, everybody pays what they would pay at home, and then they don't get charged when they go abroad. So it's pretty simple in terms of trying to figure out your budgeting. And then we work with you to help figure out how to get your plane ticket if you need help with that, or any other logistics as well. And then you're basically enrolled at the other institution as a student. So the benefit to that is that you're taking classes alongside everyone else and not just with other like Americans, for example. So the idea is that you're really there to be one of the students. So that's how that works. So now I'm going to turn it over to Julia to talk briefly about her experience. So Julia, would you like to tell us a little bit about your time in France?
Sure. So, hi guys. I'm Julia. I'm a junior. My major is business administration with a concentration in accounting, and I studied at the Audencia Business School, which is in Nantes on the northwest coast of France. It's about a 2-hour train ride from Paris, so you're kind of in the central part of France. And what's great about this program is that they offer several different classes you can take per week, and so you would take that class Monday through Thursday, have an exam Friday morning, and then the rest of your Friday through Sunday, it's available for you to travel. So some of the pictures here are all the friends I made around the world. Like I made friends not just from like the United States, but from India, Colombia, the UK. So it was a great experience to meet people from all around the world. We traveled to several different locations. So one of the pictures there on the left is from Barcelona. I went to Prague, I went to Sicily, I went to so many different places, and everybody in this program is so eager to travel and to learn and just experience different cultures. So I highly encourage this, especially for business students, because you do get business credit for doing this program, but it's such an amazing experience. I still keep up with all these people to this day and hoping to meet up with them when this is all over.
Hi, I'm Jenna. I'm a junior musical theater major. And so I've done 2 of Shenandoah study abroad programs. So my freshman year, I went to London on the GEL trip. It's on the right there. It was really cool because it was kind of this amazing 2-week immersive experience to get to kind of see how theater is in different parts of the world and have that really great other perspective for my major that I wouldn't necessarily get if I was just at school. And it was also really great because an important part of learning about theater and musical theater is learning about other cultures and learning about history, because that all goes into your performance, and it's important to be a well-rounded actor. And so it was a really cool experience to kind of get that all in that 2-week period. And then last year I went on GCP to Greece. That was like cultural immersion on steroids. It was insane. We went to 3 different cities in 8 days. I feel like I got to experience so many different parts of Greece, from like small towns to cities. And it was really amazing to be with other people from other majors, because you kind of get to see like what their experiences are and how their perspectives are different from your own, because they're studying something different. And so to be able to like kind of get a viewpoint of this experience that you're having together from everybody's different like cultural backgrounds, what they're studying, it was amazing to be with other people. I just really love the study abroad options at Shenandoah. We can't do a semester abroad in musical theater because of our curriculum, but I felt like I've gotten so many study abroad experiences in like short periods of time and got to see so much of the world. And so I'm really grateful for these like GCP GEL short-term study abroad options that Shenandoah has.
Great, thank you, Jenna. Melanie?
Hi, everyone. So my name's Melanie, and I'm an elementary and special education major at SU. I'm a junior, so I have about 1 year left. And I studied abroad in Finland, which they're actually the #1 country in education. So I actually got to go to the elementary schools and do some practicums and see the teachers do their stuff there, which was really cool. Like, I couldn't get that anywhere else. And I also did a GEL trip in Uganda, which was 2 weeks at this past January. So we actually were writing a coffee book. So we interviewed the grannies of Nyaka, and we wrote all their stories down. So we'll be published authors. So the GEL and study abroad have taught me just so much. And there's just so many things that I got to do there that I couldn't have done anywhere else. So that was just short and sweet. So we can turn it over for questions if you'd like.
All right, thank you all so much. All right, so now we'll get to, let's see, we've got a few minutes for questions. I know Trisha's been taking care of answering your questions in the chat, but if anybody has any questions for me or for any of the students, if you want to go ahead, I think we can hopefully do it with just sort of unmute yourself and take your turn and then put yourself back on mute. So questions, anyone? Hello?
No?
No questions at all?
And you can also type in the little chat box as well if you.
Yeah, I think there are some in the chat. There are questions in the chat.
Oh, here we go.
So, okay, so in terms of nursing, nursing's actually one of those ones that we're working on very hard. It is somewhat challenging to do a full semester abroad, not impossible, but it requires a lot of planning on the front end because, as you know, it's a very lockstep curriculum. One thing I will say for nursing is that they've been really good about putting together GEL programs that are nursing specific. So you have opportunities to do courses with other nursing faculty, traveling to another destination and doing some hands-on curriculum and getting nursing credit for it. But yeah, it's definitely possible to do a semester abroad, but it would require a lot of really paying a lot of attention to your prerequisites and working really closely with your advisor. Performance majors, yeah, so it depends. If you're traveling on a GEL, it's just like if you were a performance major that took a class in something else, right? You participate just like a student. But if you're, for example, I'm just trying to think through some of the different performance opportunities. We've had GEL programs that are tailored around a specific performance discipline. So for example, dance students going to another country and setting, doing workshops and then setting up dance performances, or going to like the Saxophone Congress. So that's some examples of that. Let's see here, exercise science. Yes, we've had a lot of exercise science majors specifically in the UK and Ireland. Some of the nice opportunities there is that they may have some of the specialized courses that we might not have here, or some different facilities that we don't have. So it can be a nice way to kind of complement what you can get here. But we're always looking for new opportunities to come up with ways to complement people's education. So it's the kind of thing too, if you have an idea and you want to come talk to us about it, we're really open to that conversation. That's the way we are here at Shenandoah. We're pretty entrepreneurial and willing to try new things. So I want to respect everyone's time because I know you want to all get to a different session soon. So feel free to reach out to us. If you want to send us an email, probably the easiest one to remember would be CIP, that stands for Center International Programs at su.edu, and that'll come right to us, and we're happy to answer questions on that email throughout the summer. And yeah, we really hope to see you guys here with us. This is it's a challenging times, but we know that brighter days are going to be on the other side, and we'll be ready to take advantage of those opportunities when they're available. So
Yep.
thank you all.
Everyone.
Bye.